Yep, it says it.
What's going on, What's going on, guys? Back on another episode of the Smooth Way Podcast. I am your host, Destin Parker, and always you have the co-host in Florida land, Kendall Allen. What's good with you, Kendall? Welcome back.
We back, baby. We back.
Yes,
It's been
sir.
so long since we've been back. Y'all see my back now. I got my rearranged one more time, but it's good
Sure.
now. I got space in here. Thank God for the Facebook Marketplace, because when you want something, it always pops up. So now I got a Murphy bed, and now my
Okay.
office feels like an office because I don't got just a bed. Just y'all know how you think you gonna have an office, and you get told, nah, that's the guest room. So I've
Yeah,
been
thanks.
working in here for the whole pandemic, with the bed. You can't move around. You can't. Now I can, sit the computer. I can go back and hit some crunches if I want to. I can lay down on the pillow and fall asleep. I don't even got to bring the bed back. I like to sleep on the floor anyway. And then now y'all can see all my nice Gator stuff before it gets put on the wall. But yeah, man, we back. I'm back. Let's go.
So we've been going a little hiatus, but there is some background to that, But we back recording the podcast, so like that, guys. Me and my man Kendall, refreshing. I've been itching and jonesing. A lot of things have happened while we've
Yeah.
been gone, so like that. But we're gonna start it off slow. So Kendall, man, I mean, it's good to see your face, healthy face, man. It's good to see
Yes.
your
Yes.
healthy face, man. So
Ah.
can you explain to us, man, how you've been doing over this? I would say like month. It's been like a whole month and a half for you, kind of
Just
dealing.
about. So, for the viewers out there, I was unfortunate hit of the COVIDs. Ooh, excuse me. And when I said, most people who had it, some people didn't have like nothing. Some people had mild symptoms. Well, it comes to find out, your boy had every symptom in the book. So, don't know what I was exposed, but all I know is Wednesday. Get up Wednesday morning, got a cranking headache. I'm working. I'm in here
This
working.
Wednesday, what, 3 weeks ago? Three weeks
No,
ago?
that was like March 3rd.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. And it was funny too because we had the whole month of March was lined up with, like, we had people coming over. We had a baby party, birthday party, baby dedication, like all kind of things were just hanging out. Much of March was just like bam. So the first thing we was gonna do was hang out with some friends that we haven't seen in a while. So yeah, Wednesday, woke up, headache, just like, and then that Sunday, I was in the yard working
hmm.
and pulling weeds, trimming trees. So when I had the headache Wednesday, I'm just thinking, oh, I was in the yard. My car is covered in pollen, so it's just allergies, And it was bad too. Like, it was so bad. Like, I had a call that day. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this call. I'm gonna tell my boss, I'm gonna just take the rest of the day off. I'm just go, chill. I think sinus acting up. Man, all I know is I ain't go back to work from that. After that meeting, I called my boss. From that Wednesday, I ain't go back to work till like the following Tuesday. Not the following
Jesus.
Tuesday. I went Wednesday, a full week, and then Tuesday. And I didn't
Oof.
really feel like going to work then, but I knew work was gonna be piling up on me. But
Yeah.
so Wednesday it was headache. Thursday was like really bad headache and just like body chills. And then Friday the headache broke. I thought it was all right. And then like everything just started rushing. Like, I had diarrhea. Still had to. I had to, bro. Like, when I say I had long johns on, I had my sweatpants, I had a hoodie, I had a scully, I had socks, and I had my big comforter blanket. I was still cold,
Cold.
like cold.
Gee.
Like, I couldn't stop shaking cold. And then, yeah, my sister-in-law popped for positive, and was like, "Oh man." April had took her to the hospital. It was like, "Oh shoot." Well, April's like, "Well, let me get tested just so I don't get it." See, April get tested fine. All the kids get tested, they fine. I get tested, I popped. And the lady was like, "Oh, do you have this system? Yep. This system? Yep. This system? Yep. This system? Yes." She's like, "Oh yeah." Yeah, she was just
This
like,
nigga
"Yeah, just go ahead
jackpot.
and
This
swab your
jackpot.
nose. Let's just go ahead and swab your nose, bro. You done." So yeah, I was done. And then the following week, bro, I'm talking about, your boy was on cycles for like, I could stay up for like 30, like literally only like 30 to an hour at a time, bro. Other than
Really?
that, I was, bro, like, I didn't have the energy to even stay up. Like, I was on the couch, I'd be up, I eat, and just be like, oh, I just gotta go back to sleep, bro. Like, it was like literally like I have to go back to sleep, and I would go back to sleep, And that was like for 5 days, I could not do anything. Body's still aching. And then as everything started to go away, man, it's just I still having tummy issues. I still was low on energy. Like walking up the stairs, and body was just like I didn't feel like me at all, bro. Like I felt like somebody then I got two pieced, and I felt like Mike Tyson versus my boy Buster. Just
oh dang.
I don't want no more, bro. Just I'm done. Just ding ding ding. Ring the bell, dog. Ring the bell. So yeah, man. So yeah, something that we did everything like we were in the house. We didn't go out often, much at all. You had a function, we wear a mask. I know we went to a function over to like something for our realtor, and everybody like, you don't gotta wear your mask. Like, nah, we just being cautious, man. And then, to find out that, Joe Biden's getting all these vaccines out, we're like, oh, everything's ending, we're getting close to the end, get the vaccine, and boop, here I am. Like, if anything, I was kind of upset because it's just like, you did all this, and I still got it. But then too, I blame the people in my great state of Florida because y'all just don't know. Y'all don't care about anything. Y'all just go out. No man, it's spring break time. We gonna be out here. Yeah, we could. Y'all just.
So, question. I guess the more okay, then we can break down the fear factor of this whole thing because you don't know how you got it. You kind of have an idea, but you don't know how. Because if someone has a cold, okay. Stay away from this person because there's there's no way. I don't believe you because I'm pretty sure you recognize someone being sick. You would have just stayed away from. But whoever was sick did look sick. So what do you do in that aspect? What could you have done? Nothing.
Nothing. And then too, like how people say, oh well, young people are fine. I think you got to put a definition on young people.
Yeah.
Because even though we're still relatively young, like now we're feeling the effects of how we used to make fun of our parents about stuff. Even now we're starting to. It's not like maybe not heavy, but we're starting to feel the symptoms of like, okay, maybe I need to eat better, or maybe I need to work out. I need to do these things because now I'm starting to feel it to where when I was 25, I would just I could do what the hell I wanted to do.
Yeah, you kind of
now. Yeah. So, like, because I didn't have the breathing problem, but I can see how all those different symptoms can cause you to have those breathing problems. And if you got the breathing problem, you might as well wrap it up because I can see why so many people have passed because it's wild, man. I mean, and then you just never know. Like, people be like, oh, it's just like the flu. Yeah, sometimes you are all right with the flu, and then sometimes you get your butt beat. So, you can't just, I'm just the kind of person that I'm not out here to get sick, nor am I out here to die. I don't want to just die because I'll be a stupid. I'd rather I don't know. I'm the kind of person that if they told us we were going to be shut down for 2 years, let's say we were shut down for 2 years, I'd have been like, cool. I'm gonna use these 2 years to get all the time that I've been wasting. Well, not wasting, but all the time I've been doing, working and going to school and all this. I'm gonna just take the time and just relax and enjoy being home, enjoy not having to be obligated to do anything and just chill. I know some people think, some people just can't do that, but at the same time, a lot of people have been saying, man, I'm always working, I'm always doing this and that and this and that. And then you had this perfect opportunity happen to where if you was in that mindset, like, you know what, let's just take it easy. But nah, people of Florida, people of all these other places, people who don't want to listen to nobody, nah, we don't.
Yeah,
but it's all good though. We're good now. And then what make it bad too is I had it that week, and as I got close to being non-contagious, my baby girl popped it. A couple of days later, both the kids popped it, and then about almost a week later, after I would have been clean, my wife got it. So that reset all of my clocks. So now.
You pretty much back in the quarantine zone.
Yeah, because I'm around these. I'm around them, and there's no need for me not to be around them because I mean,
you have what's you end up having going from 2.5 week quarantine to about a month and a half.
Yeah, the whole month of March, bro. Like our last day was March 29th.
So
So
y'all probably wouldn't already not really going a whole lot of places, but I think now even the extended limitation, how'd they go? Because now it's the whole y'all can't go anywhere. We just had to
no,
order
we couldn't go to the store. Well, I mean,
groceries
not
delivered to
because
you.
we're contagious, so we couldn't go to the grocery store. I mean, I went drive through a couple times, but I was masked up, and I kind of felt bad because I'm just like, I'm sitting here like,
Yeah, because
you
you feel
got
like you
this.
know if my touch like we
Yeah,
graze your
it's like,
hand,
it's
you're
like,
infected like a mutant now. You're X Man all
yeah.
of a
So I'm
sudden.
just like,
You're a freaking X Man now. COVID man.
you know, and I just felt like I really felt bad because I mean, people didn't had to work this whole time during the pandemic, and they're risking their lives, and they're risking their lives because there's people out there who got it who's still doing, just
Yeah.
doing their thing. So it's just like, yeah, but yeah, man, we were trapped in the house I'm trapped in my house for
Yeah.
long time, bro. So, but it's good
Man,
now. Like I said, we're all healthy. It took a while for everybody to get there, and we had a couple like until last week. I still had lingering effects. Like my stomach was like somebody ate, like I had some bad food or something. It was just wild, and then the kids pediatrician told us that for kids they're not gonna show,
yeah.
but they're still susceptible to the symptoms, and the
Got you.
symptoms can affect them. So it's just like I understand everybody wants to live their life, but I mean, and two, we're about at the end of it, so it really don't matter anymore.
Yeah.
But it's just like
Vaccine and
I
stuff
just
like
wish
that.
people cared enough about other people than themselves to think take stuff seriously.
Yeah.
But
Well,
it
we're
is.
glad. Yeah, go ahead, man. Finish out
Oh,
what
I'm
you're
about to
saying.
say it is what it is.
Yeah, but we're glad that the whole Allen family
Yeah,
is
we back, baby.
recovering back to 100%. Because when you get it, during that time frame, I can only imagine it can be very scary because you don't know how
Mm-mm.
impactful the virus will hit you guys. He
Mm-mm.
said he obviously wasn't asymptomatic. Like some people have it, they asymptomatic. Kendall obviously was not. He was the
No.
whole show and some more. So, and
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine, April and all the kids and how they were. But we're glad to see y'all through that, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So during that time frame, probably our last podcast that we did, we actually had a discussion about this guy that we're about to talk about now. And
Woo.
at that time, it was
Boy,
a while,
I'm
how
happy that did not post because boy,
the
woo.
last podcast that we recorded when we talked about Deshaun Watson. Um, at that time it was about the whole trade thing and the whole
Yeah.
how he was
Think
handling
so. It's
the.
been that long to where all this extra stuff. Dang.
I thought about it.
Woo.
When you sent me the message, I
Woo.
thought about that's a
Woo.
lot. A lot has happened in the time frame since that passing.
Yeah.
So,
Dang.
so they kind of touch back a little bit what we said, kind of a little bit. We talked about this. We discussed it in James Harden and Deshaun Watson and how both of them were handling
Mm-hmm.
their wanting to be traded from their respective franchises. And we were talking about Deshaun, how he wasn't really saying anything. He was just letting hey, he let it be known he was ready to go. Blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, in the time frame since that, we had the whole Deshaun Watson allegations of now we have sexual misconduct
Whew. Boy.
has hit ablaze throughout the
Mm.
social media,
Mm.
news stations, ESPN, wherever
Mm.
you watch anything that has to do with sports, or if you're on social media, you probably heard about Deshaun Watson and the whole sexual misconduct.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, Kendall, I don't have enough to go on besides what has been told. We've had the 2021, 22
Something like that. Yeah.
accusations of massage therapists that Deshaun Watson had encountered where there was seen that has been said, General Blake, because I'm not pointing fingers. It has been
Mm.
said that probably some misconduct has happened
Mm-hmm.
during those massage therapy sessions. Um, so with it can kind of send you in a whole lot of areas, man. I could say at least
Yeah.
for myself,
Mm. I mean, it's
it's
I,
because you got to be careful.
what?
You got to because one thing I will say that me and you, Kendall, and whoever, either you're male or female, what you guys gonna have to be careful is until we can get down to the nitty gritty of like
Mm-hmm.
someone's gonna we had to get them all in court, and we need evidential proof from both sides because this is damaging for both sides.
Yeah.
Because
And
you
then
have
I
yeah,
was
go
say,
ahead.
and then his counter
Yeah.
But for Deshaun, when he countered with, all right, here's 18 other women who he had massages with, who said he was
Came
nothing
out,
but
spoke on
yeah.
his behalf.
And I'm just
Yeah.
like, dude, so that's almost 40 different massages. Like, bruh, like, what are you doing? Like,
So in this time frame, and now it looks worse now because it probably before then he was just going to random masseuses or not random or whoever he was contacting masseuses to have massages done.
yeah.
Now and like now what this portrays now you have what you said. What was your number? You said about 40-ish.
What total? It's like 40 is total.
40-ish
different
total
massage
masseuses.
people.
Now because the mind is a very powerful thing, and now lends you into being wandering into like now you're like this like why don't you just go to one sports therapist that you because that's the one thing Shannon was always saying. Like I had one female that I've been trusting since like '98. He go way back. He said like, I find we have a rapport. And a lot of your contact with these women are across social media.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I'm pretty sure they're not of the ugly nature. I mean, I'll be honest with you. If you're contacting them on social media,
he picking and choosing. He looking like These
are not facially challenged women. These are not facially challenged women that you're hitting up in Instagram. I'm just calling it like that's a spade. Call a spade a spade.
I mean,
and so with the 21 allegations of misconduct, what can be damaging because we cannot disregard like, hey, that this is not true because these are 21 women, who could have been taken advantage of, you know what I'm saying? Because of a celebrity. Because Deshaun is a celebrity by since his sports position he plays, his name. So that Deshaun's kind of been a celebrity since his Clemson days.
Yeah.
Actually, probably since high school days because
that's true too.
He holds a lot of Georgia records passing. So, celebrityism for sports players start probably as early as high school. It's not earlier. You get your name kind of starts buzzing, and then that web kind of expands out as you go to your next levels and next levels.
Yeah.
The last thing that has come about during this whole time frame of us being off air that he has admitted to consensual sex with some of these therapists, massage therapists.
Yeah, and to me, my boy was talking about. I was like, man, just like a bad porn episode. You know how you get the massage. You turn around and it's just like I'm just
because
not saying that I continually watch that stuff. I don't know how that just I don't know, but y'all know. If you know, you know. If you don't know,
you know.
You got an idea. You got an idea. I'm just saying. You got an idea. But I mean. And then it's not like he's an athlete, he's a track guy. You might just be like, one wink leads to another wink, and you butt naked already, and I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe you got an extra $100, but I mean, my thing too is like one, nobody's really except for the two, nobody else is putting a name to anything, nor has the other attorney put anything in.
Yeah,
and I think at some point too, I mean, for them to once you come forward with something like this, I mean, both sides you're basically gonna be ruined anyway. Because one, you're a person going against a star, no matter if that star is male or female, or if you're male or female, anybody going against a star, your name is pretty much gonna be you gonna get dragged in the mud on the net anyway. Just like the star, you'll get dragged in the mud. So pretty much this is a lose-lose situation for everybody involved. But I would think, if you still want to have your good name, that you will still just present everything that you like. If you go do it, just go ahead and be open and honest about it. Instead of like, I don't like how it could be the attorney that's just dragging this out just to get more publicity on it.
We talk about the one for the
for the ladies. Yeah. I mean, instead of just being like,
dropped this story over Instagram, which I thought started out weird. Like you dropped this big bomb. Oh, but go ahead, finish out what you said.
But I mean, at some point, like my whole thing too, like Deshaun, dude, you're Deshaun. Why are you doing like? That's all I want to know. Like, why you can't? Like, it's okay. Like, if this is something that you like to do, why? I mean, not saying that it's right, but you got people who actually work jobs that will take care of what needs for you instead of just going around and swiping and then trying to like I don't know, man.
What's
I,
what's makes
I hate to sound bad about that, but it's true though, right? I
this
mean,
what makes it tricky about this because because the one thing about the attorney for the accusers is take it to how long it took you to get to a point where now you're trying to press criminal, like you trying to give it to police. At the end of the day, he had to turn it over to police so they can do an investigation.
mm-hmm.
And it's like, so I'm gonna lay out two things because
Go ahead. Go ahead.
you got the first thing. All right, so we go back to the point where you're trying to get traded from a team.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing it by the gracious way. You're not in there slandering the thing, blase blase, and all of a sudden, this damning story comes out about you that can ruin you being a shock to other teams. That's one point of view.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ifs, ands, but that's just one point of view of it.
Yeah.
So that's what it looks shaky for.
Mm-hmm.
Now, your next thing is where this point of view, where it's like Deshaun. Even though, okay, there are great people in the world, but that does not mean they can't have a mess up.
Oh yeah,
so this is a situation
that's very true.
This is where if he makes it through this is going to be the biggest learning experience. I hope he ever has that he can learn.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, he's gonna make it through. I mean, you ain't no going back. You go ahead to persevere to this, but I will hope like you're going to say this opens some kind of
Yeah, because I mean, he's going to have to take this. First of all, he's going to take this ride anyway, regardless if he did or did not do it. Regardless, the next, I think, like the third view of it all is like, however this comes out, we got to realize, this was just a young man. I hope he wasn't like this predator. I hope he wasn't because you kind of got to take that. You're going to take that L, Deshaun. You're going to take that L. Now, if it's consensual, I hope this whoever the is it Rusty Harden? That's the one for the accuser.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
I hope this wasn't something that just because destroying people's name is like the one thing you probably can't never get back. Because once you destroy it, it's pretty much because it could look like if he makes it out of this and like they drop all charges, some people gonna have it back in here. Did they pay off somebody? This get done just because he's our football player and he makes this blase. So it's to the point now it's on a rider's course. We're gonna see how they make it out through. But you got anything? Go ahead, man.
I don't know, man. I just I don't know. I don't know if somebody was in Deshaun's orbit and it was like if he would have mentioned, I mean a new massage lady, like is there anybody that's like, bro, you don't just got like somebody, I just if that's what came to me and say, yeah, man, I mean, like, well, what happened to the old one? I mean, maybe you didn't find the right one, but I mean, no, I don't know, man. It's just, especially nowadays, how the world is, and it's just like, I mean, at first I thought it was like a smear campaign because they wanted to leave and people can get dirty. They'll fight and then too somebody mentioned that a lot of star players do a lot of crazy stuff, but since they're star players, their owners would just be like hush hush. So I mean, it's possible the owner was sitting on this information, which would also be a wrong thing because maybe this could have been stopped before it got to all these different women. And somebody could have just pulled them aside and be like, if you're the owner and you're hearing like, oh, he's messing around with all these different, what do you be like? Hey, Deshaun, can we have a conversation? Because I can foresee this being an issue. Can we nip this in the bud now?
Because it's either that, because once again, he's 25 years old, 26 years old. He's got a lot of money. He's a young, bachelor, and so at this point, before all this breaks out, it's just attractive guy mess with attractive women, and it's a tale as old as time. I mean, it's not this type of situation of an athlete messing with attractive women in different work. It's not new. I think it's gonna kind of come down to what is the real true evidence behind it all. Is it the organization coming after him to kind of keep him in Houston? But then it's where it gets weird is it's I don't know because none of your fans are gonna want him in Houston, correct?
Mm-mm.
I mean, like, so it's like, is it true? And then it's like it's like as a black man, because I don't know if you remember that offensive lineman who beat the crap out of his
Mm.
girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
So he got like a little publicity, and we really heard him. We heard like a little second about him, and then that was it. Whereas this one and Deshaun Watson, it's been this very big public story, and it's
Yeah.
like so black people have that perspective, like, okay, y'all blow up our stuff and ready to keep us on the news all the time.
But I mean, in the defense of the coloration, we did have if there was no video, Ray Rice probably would have got a wrist slap, and Patman Jones was having his time wild and it kind of blew. I
I
think
don't
this
know
is.
because I think during the Me Too movie, I think they would have got them. I think they would have got
You think so?
Yeah, I think ultimately justice.
Well, I mean, Ray Rice got caught because we saw it on video. That's
on
the
video,
reason.
yeah. Which there's a lot of just general people that get slide up under the crack because there's no video proof or them doing something. Because you got the Saweetie and Quavo thing. You got that whole thing.
Yeah,
this is sticky, man. This is sticky. I really don't want to speak my mind on which way this goes.
I mean, and Big Ben was in the same situation a long time ago, but and it was kind of like in the I don't know what happened with his, but he was able to still but like you said, this is just because
it's sticky. I'm not gonna jump to no conclusion. I'm not gonna say whether or not this is a smear. I'm not gonna say whether or not the women are not right in their accusations. I'm not gonna say because I wonder if the truth will prevail somehow. Now, sometimes the truth, even though a ruling is made, sometimes the truth ends up making it out later on down the road, and that's such part too.
That's true.
But all it says, man, I don't even know what to say, man. I
mean, I think what it is your decision has consequences.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I love Deshaun and everything, and even if he makes it free, it's just like you were making the conscious decision, brother.
Yeah, if I'm his advisor, you don't go nowhere outside this facility.
Yeah, this is like you can't. I mean, because you can't blame nobody else. Ain't nobody else was telling you to do this. You made the so this is you making decisions that later. I mean, at the time you don't think nothing of it, but I'm sure deep down somewhere you were just like, is this is this a good thing to do or not?
Yeah.
So,
slide on into even more, I guess, darker waters.
Woo!
Kendall brought this topic to me. This politician in Florida,
Mr. Matt Gaetz.
How we say his name?
Yeah, Matt Gaetz. Man, Florida man does not sleep. We do not. Well, hold on. I ain't gonna say we. I don't lump myself in.
All right,
I mean, not lump myself. We got Florida people who they don't let us stay out the news. So this guy, my man, Matt Gaetz, who represents a district in Northwest Florida, just so happened to be under federal investigation for child trafficking, sex trafficking, minor who at the time could have been 17. We don't know yet.
Okay.
He claims she was of age, but trafficking 17-year-old or even 18, you 38, dude.
It's like you trafficking. Like regardless, she was.
But they're investigating him because he's not only paying her, but he's flying her out to different state, to either DC.
So he's pimping this girl.
We don't know. We don't know. He's under investigation, and his buddy, one of his really good friends, was a tax collector. He was a tax collector in one of these counties, who he's really cool with.
Okay.
Who actually he was indicted on child sex, just what is it, prostitution, whatever you call it when you're trafficking, like sex trafficking. There we go. Yeah. He pleaded not guilty. This past week, he changed his plea to guilty. And for some reason, you only do that if you about to give up the goods. And he is too
They
closely
gave him that
connected.
lobster dinner. They got him that
Yeah.
lobster piece from
Yeah, and check this out. He was making fake IDs for people. So they were saying he was making fake IDs for these girls. And then good old Matty Gaetz was sharing naked pictures of the women they was conquesting. Oh, here's even crazier. So in the Florida legislature, they apparently had a game where they would go around and try to sleep with either their interns or staff or wives of other people's staffs as a game, and they got rewarded points for completing that and showing up with it. So, like, what is going on here, dog?
That right there, that part right there you just said, the sex trafficking is where it's getting wild. But that second part right there, that is powerful CEO like ego.
Yeah.
Where you believe you can just do what you want to because you are at a certain, would you say, class in life?
Yeah. Well, his daddy is has been a lifetime career politician. So he's a son of a wealthy man. He's had DOI charges. You can go look him up and see his picture. He did plenty of those. You didn't hear stories of him getting out of stuff because daddy money. So basically, you're right. He's a person who thinks he's above everybody else. And now, we've had this whole season where people were saying, oh, we keep it in the political realm where people will say Democrats are the child molesters and stuff like that. But here you are, somebody who's on your side, who's doing it, and it's crickets. It is nasty. Because the governor of New York has been doing some nasty stuff, and his butt should. Anybody who do some nasty stuff, you should be. I don't care what your political affiliation. I don't care what your color is. That's why I would go hard on the side. Why I can't help but to go hard on the side because you made the decision. Yeah. So y'all making these decisions, and y'all need to go. But I'm kind of mad
that part is true. That part is true. Like the boneheadness of it. Not really recognizing you as a man. What that comes with. Not really understanding where your position of power is.
Yeah, and they're all powerful men. But yeah, so yeah, my man Matty Gaetz is just like, and then he's denying everything. He's just saying that, oh well, I mean, obviously you go deny stuff like that, especially when it comes down to that. But it's just like. I don't feel like nobody's having reflection on this because obviously something's about to go down, and
don't have to because like you said,
and I understand too. Hold on, like everybody's innocent and proven guilty, but for most people, you just toss them out before they can even get through trial. Yeah. So what makes this for him different? Like. Even if he was alleged to do something, even if you told me he was, even though it's okay to date an 18-year-old, I guess as a 38-year-old man, that is, if I was like, nah, bro, you need to get over my bed, like,
yeah, and it's one of those things too. It's like you said. First of all, if he goes down, this won't be the last time this stuff happened. That's the sad part about it because. Yeah. People, what's it? Narcissism. You have that feeling of he got caught, but I did.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
So and this type of almost game that they're playing is going to continue on because that's what comes with coming and getting to that higher level of class. That's for anybody with a lot of money. What was that guy who just recently that we had by sex trafficking? Jeffrey, so that was his ego. He got to a certain.
And the whole thing with Jeffrey too, if you think about it, Jeffrey was living in Florida.
Yes, and so down south, yeah, Keys, something like that.
Now he's in Miami area.
Miami, okay.
So part of me think because let's all be real. Somebody killed him in prison. Somebody got him.
Yeah. He killed himself.
What make you think that you cannot connect the dots to him? To the guy who Matt Gaetz was like, how can you not? I mean, you telling me you can't, like, for all y'all conspiracy theory people out here, here's one for you that y'all ain't talking about. Y'all talk about all the other, y'all talk about lizard people and stuff. But when it's presented to you in front of you, you're like, oh, I don't know what to do because this is my person. No, I don't got no person. No, listen, you do wrong, son. So, and then another thing to the story too is this man was paying he's on record of paying the guy who got indicted $900, paying him money on Vimo. Oh, and then his profile is public.
Oh
So
yeah,
you can go back and look at all his things
yeah.
and you
Because
can
on Venmo,
see.
it shows
You can
like a
see.
social media feed of
Yeah.
like when you've given cash, regardless if you don't
Yeah.
put a name to it. You don't have to plug it but it shows like such and such gave this to such and such. That's
Yeah.
what it shows.
I'm just like, I won some fantasy football money one time. I'm just like, I don't want everybody knowing I want somebody want y'all to come get me, even though it's like $150 ain't that much. But yeah,
Man,
man, it's just like
yeah.
I don't like between the. That's when I was putting it together, like Deshaun. I'm like, what it like, Dustin? What is it like? Why is this? I don't know. I guess it's always been happening, but I guess it's shocking. But why does this keep occurring? Like, why?
Because we like to do the things that we're not supposed to do. That's just us as human beings, women, men, it don't matter. Kids, what you tell them, don't do this, and what they do the thing
They go and do it.
they're gonna end
But
up doing it. Go ahead.
my thing is, I know it's not right, but you have these script clubs. You have people who pride themselves on being sex workers that you can readily find on the internet. You can find people of age you can either go to you're famous, you're popular. You telling me you can't go out and find somebody your age who wants to do with you? Because especially nowadays, everybody's just like, hey, they got apps where you can go Tinder somebody that's regular. But what is it that you have to go after women that aren't of age? Like that mind boggles me. Like it really does. I don't understand.
It's when okay, you get. Let me see how the closest I can break this down in theory. When you have not spent a whole lot of time in life with any type of consequences and not dodging things, you get to a point where you're looking for the thrill. That thrill seeking. Not they ain't just bungee jumping, skydiving. It's like that big game hunting style of like thrill seeking. And if this guy, let's say in theory, he's the guy I think he is, and what his background is, you get to a point where you've skated by so much, like when I just keep skating, I just keep on skating, like till what's the next big jump? Now these are young women in
They're
theory.
not women, brother. These are girls.
Young girls, but in theory, this is
Girls.
the next big jump. Why go to a strip club? That's too easy. A strip club, that's too easy, Kendall. Now for us, it's like that's dumb, but for them, that's too easy. They don't want to do the easy anymore. They want to do the taboo. They want to do the off limits, the yellow tape. Do not go here. Caution. That's what people of that higher class of elitism want to do. They want to do the things they're not supposed to, because just to say they can. What do you say? We're playing an office game to sleep with our the secretaries and other people's wives, and as a game, we getting points. Once you got those type of group of people, you can't expect too much accountability for those type of people. You just really can't.
I guess you can't. I mean,
You really can't. That's like because you wouldn't fathom like a point system to see what other people's like they're supposed to be colleagues of yours, wives, or such and such.
That's the thing too. Like that means you might be messing around with someone like purposely. Like who comes up like what in your mind just like, hey guys, let's just come up with this game like this. Like
money, man. That's why you it's I always say I just want a piece of pie, not the whole thing, because it puts me in a different realm. I don't want to be a billionaire. I just want to be able to take care of my family because there's certain things that come with too much money, too much access to too much money. It's too much of there's such, like they say too much of sometimes there is such thing as too much of a good thing. More money, more problems. I mean, you've heard it in different ways. It don't
that's
get
true.
it doesn't get any simpler than that. I mean, yeah, he's a politician, and what becomes scary is before this time you had just one thought of this person until you get his uncovering of his underbelly.
Yeah.
Now
And then too, he was the only person in Congress to vote against the bill that that dealt with sex trafficking. The only
Y'all were messing with his money. Y'all messing with his money. That's why voted against. Y'all niggas messing with my man's money.
Oh man.
No.
Mm-hmm.
It.
I don't know, man. It's just like all this stuff, like people doing stuff like this, and the way that it's out there now, and the way that people don't react, like it's just like I understand that going back to Deshaun, I understand that everybody's, as I mentioned, innocent and proven guilty. But in the back of my head, it's just like a trigger that just like, why? And just like with Matt, it's like, why? Like, I don't know. I would love, I would love if I had the opportunity to switch bodies with somebody one day. It's to switch bodies with somebody.
See through their eyes.
Yeah, to see through like,
because your brain, like what? Because like I said, the one thing we can never do, we can't hear the inner monologue of someone's head.
No,
going on upstairs. So you want to see like what's leading you to this, like what's
leading
you, because like for me, I'm, of course, the two are separate. Like Deshaun is not Matt because Matt's preying on he's sex trafficking.
Yeah.
Deshaun was just reckless and not understanding his celebrity is like I get it. You for the most part, you lead well. You never had like a bad thing happen to you. That with that, you're still a celebrity, and you're in the way that us as United States and how we uphold our athletes to such a high regard.
Yeah,
it's one of the things you forgot that was the reckless part on Deshaun's part that you. In a sense, was just being unsafe. Not saying sexually, but unsafe with yourself and what you were doing, and not thinking that what you were doing in your pathway. Not saying you can't be young, be sexual. That's not what I'm saying.
No.
That would be dumb for me. I'm not saying like if that was just his number, that's just his number. But obviously, somehow someone's found a way to whatever you did in the dark. Brought that shit to light. I don't know what you did, if you did it, or if anything's been done, but something's been drugged to the front and to the light, and it's about to be put on full order. Now, Matt's thing, that's just part of the old one of the oldest things in time. It just that goes way back, even before that goes like even with the royal family. It's just that
that's you're right. Yeah,
it just goes with that whole thing of just that classism, that money, that elitism. That's just one of those things where. This is just something that we're gonna make this a big story, but don't think it's still not happening. This didn't shut it down because obviously Jeffrey Epstein, his fallout, it didn't shut it down from this guy doing his thing.
No, you would think would think that Jeffrey getting caught and all this stuff coming out about him, that if you were doing something like this, you would be like,
stop. You would just
let me get out of the game. It's just like it's like your buddy getting busted. Y'all hitting cars and he get busted. He's like, maybe I'm just gonna go get a job. Nah. Some people just think you're right. They just I didn't get caught, so let me just keep doing what I'm doing. Just
man. You think because I think sometimes we sit in our homes and we think what we got going on our daily and the little interaction we got going on. There's nothing bigger than us going on outside of us. Like there's something. True. Like you go outside right now, Kendall. It's bright and sunny. It's sunshine. It's Florida, beautiful day. But somewhere in Florida, something dark going on. Even with the light out, something dark is going on right now.
That's true.
That's the scary part. That's what life is. Love it. We're not in everybody's particular situation. We're not in these young females' shoes who are trafficked.
So, question for you, because some states have laws where it's consensual to have sex at the age of 16.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think so. Is that I think Alabama's that.
Yeah. So, two things. Do you think if states legalized, like made it drop the consensual age down lower, would it make it? Not saying that would make it right, but would it curb any of this? And two, what do you think punishment should be for people who do this? Because obviously, with my man Jeffrey, his main right woman in charge, she's going through the process now, which to me, honestly, like you have all this information of what they're doing, but she's been sitting in jail for like almost a year now, but nothing's happening. It's like, where's justice for these women who've come out and exposed this? Like, where's their justice? Are is this just gonna keep happening? And you'll just go in the system, and are people waiting for it to hush down so you can just quietly do a plea deal or something? Or like, what is something that we can do to at least curb this type of behavior?
Well, that goes really a lot deeper than just the law, because it kind of
Yeah.
starts off with that whole thing, and we kind of spoke about it in a couple of podcasts ago of that whole women liking older man thing.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So as you become a 17 or 18-year-old female, you want a guy that's 2 to 3. You like the college guy. You
Mm-hmm.
want that's who you're going after. You're not going after the guy. I don't think I know really like a whole lot of women who like guys who are their age or year younger. So
Yeah.
they want the guy up. So we gotta that would have to have been changed, because I'm pretty sure however that started out with Matt Gaetz, I don't think they just showed up in each other's lives and just stuff just started happening. I feel
Yeah.
like an interaction of some sort. I don't know how
Mm-hmm.
the interaction of some sort happened, and then it developed onto that, and then he probably hitting his ego took it to a different level.
Yeah. So do you think lowering the age will address any of that, or do you?
I don't know if the age is. I don't know if a lawfully age is going to matter, because you got to remember, not everybody knows all the laws either.
True.
Not,
Cha-ching.
not everybody knows the laws, and
Yeah.
so
Okay.
like what's your law in Florida, and you think if I grew up in Florida, I knew that law or whatever the age.
Mm-hmm.
I think the consensual age is what, 18 in Florida. Is it
I think so. I don't think it's either 17 or 18. I know it's not super low. To me, it's like a practical,
Yeah, I feel like it's 18, right? But
Yeah,
then,
because you're.
but if you come to Bama and you don't, or you go, you don't know that in the
Mhm.
transition, it's just the whole thing. Um,
Yeah.
and so I don't know for law, because like you said, not all we don't know all of our laws. We only know the laws that we hear on TV a lot, or
Yeah. True.
it's however your situation is that you've encountered in some way, because there's so many laws, and then like you say, each state has their own little tweak to the law that you're talking about. And I would say that's hard. The sex trafficking part just got stopped. That's just dumb. I don't understand why you're sex trafficking young
Yeah.
girls.
So,
Go
but
ahead.
you're saying that. What do you think about what should like what kind of punishment do you think will stop these people? Like,
Oh,
or
there.
is
There's
there
no,
something?
because you can't stop narcissism. Narcissism is the whole thing of I did not get caught. There's
Hmm.
more to it than just that. But the main part of, if we just watch a Jeffrey Epstein documentary and stuff like that, and you go through and you watch this unraveling of all the stuff that he does when the women come to the sex island and blase, and him having politicians in his arms, you would think, other politicians, because that wouldn't, people talking, it will stop other
Hmm.
people from keeping it going. But no, the narcissistic part is, okay, Jeffrey Epstein got caught. They indicted him. They sent him to jail. I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. My name is Matt Gaetz. I can continue doing all what I'm doing. Then Matt Gaetz get caught up. Meanwhile, he has a Rick Johnson probably down in his office who's also still doing it. But Rick is like, Matt Gaetz got caught and not your boy Rick. So Rick will keep slinging this dick. And that's what he gonna keep. I want y'all to know I did not write that. That just kind of flowed together like that.
Oh no!
So I mean, that
Oh, I'm
was
dead. I'm dead. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. Oh, that was out of left field. That was out of left field.
look. I mean, Kendall. I mean, what stop? I mean, because let's make the smallest Barney. Let's do it Barney style. What stop other bad kids from not being bad when they see other bad kids get in trouble? Nothing. They just
That's
keep
true.
bad.
Nothing.
Nothing stops them because they go, "Oh, Timmy got caught. I
Hmm.
didn't, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna go
that's
do what
true.
I." That's just human. I think it's our human nature. It just our societal thing. it's just let's say the fundamental foundation of how we were built on from the way back when. Because even during George Washington time and all them people,
Yeah.
I mean, this type of stuff was happening even before. I mean, you got to think about it. Way back when, there was a point in time where you had a younger mate because
Yeah, that's true.
because that was I don't know when that switch. You might know. I don't know where that time frame switched where we were like, okay, you can be such and such age to be having sex, socially.
Maybe just recently, because I know both my grandmothers were young when they had kids, and their mamas was like
Okay.
I think one of them was 16. So it's just like
Yeah.
maybe it's just recent.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So if that's what dude had to, at some point in time, it was okay to be really, really young, and then I think there's still some old laws of where you can do such and such with a minor in like certain areas. I
Mhm.
don't quote me on that, but I've heard that throughout my, my adulthood where, oh, we go to such and such state, we can do this because this law is, is
Yeah, that's true.
you know what I'm saying, saying this, you know, and it just show you how sickening stuff could be, man.
It is, man. And then too, and to say because Matt hasn't been indicted yet, and
Yeah.
it's pretty much known that something's coming down on him soon, especially when your friend flipped. So it's possible that they're just really, 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 really young, and they're not super young. But I would hope I can come back over here 3 months from now, but like, you know what, Matt was just messing with 18-year-olds.
Yeah,
But still, just the optics of a 38-year-old man messing with a
Yeah.
18-year-old, just
yeah,
uh,
yeah.
that's like the guy going back to high school for the football games hitting on the girls there. That's
And his same statement. Hey, I'm getting older, but these girls stay the same age, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's I mean, I'm just that's just.
I just had to, oh gosh.
Oh, but I mean, in closing, man, I can't do nothing about that guy. Deshaun. I think there's a learning moment for Deshaun here. He can at least he can either because I don't think no, I don't think none. I think mostly we don't want it to be rape. As long as we don't want rape.
Yeah.
Because that's that could be that's your football career. I don't know what to even say about that. So I'm just gonna, I'm just because I don't want to be misspoken on here. But in closing, guys, before we get off this podcast, I would be without, showing respect. But recently in the hip hop community, we lost a legend in the game, icon. We lost DMX, Earl Simmons. We
What you
lost
really want?
one probably the most, like everyone says, one of the most unique voices to ever grace the mic. One of the most passion. Like a person you could feel a lot of feeling in his music. I don't think we felt this much passion since the late great Tupac himself. When it comes to just expressing emotion in a song and feeling pain and stuff like that, DMX is one of those people. Um, he finally his life, he finally gained his wings after he had a heart attack probably a week ago, and he was in the hospital probably throughout that whole week up until what's today? Today is Sunday. When we're
Sunday,
recording
so he
this, so
passed
I think he's
Friday.
Friday, and I think
Yeah.
that whole week prior, in the week before then, he had been in the hospital, fighting for his life to the point he had, it was brain damage, and it just, young, 50 years old. I mean, in
Yeah,
theory,
that's
that's
young, bro.
young
That's
now.
still young. Hey, that's still young.
That's
Hey,
young.
Prince Philip died at 99 the same
Yeah,
day.
yeah. So young, but all I can say is RIP to DMX, man. You've brought us great, iconic music that you can still play now to get you hyped. Whether you're playing
Mhm.
sports, getting ready for workout, man. I don't think, it. His music will live on. That's just iconic, man. You got anything to say, Ken?
Yeah, man. He gave everybody parents growing up in the 90s the great line, what you really want, or y'all
Oh,
gonna make me
yeah,
lose my mind.
yeah,
Hey,
this
that
yeah,
that's everybody parents right there, especially that one.
yeah,
Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here.
very
But nah,
passionate.
man.
Yeah, yeah.
Something else I noticed too on looking on social media, just
Okay.
everybody just sharing like out of the ordinary stories about DMX. There's a couple that stuck out that he went to. I don't know, they just showed up at a bar mitzvah to start dancing with everybody. Like, DMX, you hood, bro. What you doing at a bar mitzvah? And then he was in. They got video of this one. He was. I forgot. I think it's a Waffle House. Yeah. But he spilled something, and the guy about the mop. He said, "No, I'll mop it up." And he told the guy, "If you ever get too famous to where you can't mop your own up, then you got a problem." So it's just like in a world where most artists are. They think of themselves as more than who they
person.
are.
Yeah, like they're a whole different person. Like, you're not
royalty, rare air. DMX, like he was true to where he came. I mean, he grew up in a children's home, and he was true to like wanting to stay the same and give it back to the community, or just being a light for others. While he struggled with addiction, and he was very open about it, never shied away from it, and told us constantly that it's a constant battle. So you might not have a problem with addictions, but there are things that you have issues with, whether nowadays it could be you looking at somebody who don't look like you and being able to have a friendship with them, or you seeing somebody who might not they might not like the same thing you like. They might, a man could like a man, a woman could like we're looking at people who are going through different things, and instead of just loving on them unconditionally like DMX did, we kind of hate. So I would challenge people to be more like a DMX. Yes, you are a screw up, and DMX would say that he has screwed up plenty of times, but the one thing you cannot take away from brother is that brother loved all people. So rest in peace
to X, man. Dark Man X. Hey. But yeah, guys. But with that being said, guys, we are back. Kendall's family is healthy. Podcast will be back. We're pushing forward. But I've been Dexter Parker. That has been Kendall Allan, guys. This has been the Podcast, guys. And we're out. Peace.
Swish.